Good afternoon again. This is Angela with Creatively Done, and I'm going to do a second piece of wood and go to my website to see all the things that I've created. I'm going to create a second piece of wood for my desk, and one of the things that I have to do first in all my recycled bottles, this one's from honey, but it's not honey, it's Mars Black. And what I'm going to do is I am going to lay down a base of black and then use a 3D printed cup that was a prototype. We're reprinting it because the handle didn't hold up to falling on the concrete floor. But I just did one video before and it was on a much bigger piece. So this one is going to be, and I've got some leftover paint from the last one, but since I'm doing a granite type pour where it looks like rock, I don't mind if there's undertones of other colors, and I don't mind if the paint isn't perfectly, I want to say mixed, but a perfect consistency. You see there's some bubbles. Covered it nicely. Now this, I'm not a carpenter, but pretty sure this is a pretty heavy piece of, the other one was Luan. That was the kind of wood it was. I think this one's just a piece of plywood. Now I got this all covered, and I want to make sure I got the edges. I missed that a little bit on the other one. And now I'm going to show you on the cup. Let me get my black honey out of the way. And this is the cup. And you can see I just used it for the previous video. But I have gold in here, Mars Black, and antique copper in the other. Let me set this out of the way so I don't ruin it. And again, I could pop everything first, but I don't want to do that. This is a lot of black paint, and hopefully it'll have enough color in it. I might add a little bit more gold to that one side because I don't think it's going to have enough gold. And that usually gets lost anyway. And we'll see how this holds up. I recycle all my jars. I might have too much paint, but better too much than not enough. Okay, now this time I'm going to start on this end and I'm going to swirl around. And you can see what it does together. Yep, I get a little bit quiet. It's rare, but I do get a little quiet when I'm pouring something. And I'm going to show you the size of this cup. Now, we put handles on it. Normally they don't have a handle. I shouldn't be doing that over the painting. But normally they don't have a handle, but it's easier for me to hold. And believe it or not, it doesn't look like a lot of paint in this cup, but the cup itself, I think, is 8 ounces with nothing in it. Okay, so now I'm going to set this over to the side while I let it drip out there. Let's see if I can get it to hold it up a little bit more. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt it. This is a heavier piece of wood, so it doesn't look like it's that big, but if you can tell the sizes, I'll post the sizes, and it's probably, well, let's see, maybe about 12, 13 inches wide and about 28 inches wide. So let me see if I can tilt this towards the camera first. You can see the colors running, which is nice. Do this one a little slower. A lot of it's going to run off, and it is heavy for me. The wood itself is rather thick, so you won't see me tilting it all the way. I can kind of turn it around and show you a little bit. But then I get my paint. I like to use the paint that drips off for jewelry or for napkin rings or whatever. And if I run it all over the place, see if you can see it. I just got it on my arm. Hopefully you can't see that, but I'm going to set this here. This is a heavy piece of wood for me. I envy those of you that can take this and just throw around canvases. Wood is a lot heavier for me, even though it's only about a 1/4 of an inch thick. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to tilt it back that way right after I dump some paint on it. Dagnabbit, I didn't mean to do that. We'll make that part of the design. And I'm just going to tilt it now. If you can see any of this on the video, that's great. If not, my apologies. And I'm not going to swipe over it this time. I'm going to keep the pure rings of paint. So there's just going to be veins of paint. And you can see bubbles coming, or cells coming up already. And that's a good thing. So I want to pop them with a little gun and see what we got going on here. I don't like to run everything off. I just want to tilt it a little bit so the veins look a little more natural. Most of the time what I would do is I would use my OXO omelet knife and I would swipe over it. This time I'm not going to. I want to see what happens here. And my hands are a mess, but my knife doesn't, my torch doesn't care. And let's see what we can, you'll see some little cells pop up. It's actually little bubbles of air that are underneath. And like I said, I'm doing this one a little differently. Normally I would swipe over it. I'm loving the deep vein color without it being muted, so I'm going to stick with that. It might take a while longer for it to dry, but the setup is the hardest part. I'm going to make sure it ran off the edge. That's when it looks super cool. When it runs off the edge and it carries the color that was on top. Even though the sides you won't see because they'll be in the desk itself. But whatever one I make the front, get some of that off my fingertips, and go around to the other side so I'm not blocking the camera with my teeny tiny little arms. I'm just a chubby old lady. Somebody's got to do it. There we go. Oh, this side looks nice too. I'm touching the bottom so the paint stops running off, and if not, it'll keep pulling the paint off. And as you can see, that's pretty runoff though. I'm gonna have to get smart here and do some cabochons or something. I'd rather dip the cabochons when they're wet, when the paint is wet, than to do it with skins. The skins just take longer, although they're more predictable. But I'm going to try to pull some of this paint out. Well, that sounds good, huh? But no matter what I do with the paint on the side here, you could swirl a knife or a popsicle stick through it. And whatever you do, this is where you can use absolutely just about every drop of paint instead of wasting it. I have it on kind of a waxy paper, and I'm going to try to make some dots through here, because this was very bronze. That was from the previous one that I did today. And the reason I'm doing both of these is because this cup is holding so much paint anyway, and I'm just doing some finger painting here. real pretty colors underneath the cup, underneath the piece of wood, I mean, and I might just let those go. Doesn't get too muddy. Let's see if I can get any of the black out. Rather get it out of the cup. I try not to wash things down the sink. I don't know if it caused the problem before, but we're not going there again. And I have it all over my gloves, and that looks gorgeous. I'm not going to bother with that. Normally, I would swipe over that. This time I'm not going to. And my gloves are nice and dirty, but you can see. Let me see if I could pop some more and not catch it on fire. It's frowned upon, but I love it. It looks like rock to me. I have this granite obsession, and this looks like the granite that was in our kitchen with the bronze and the black and the beige, and it just is so pretty to me. Too dark for others. This is my personal desk. It's not a painting that I'll sell, but it certainly is a nice assortment of colors. And I used antique copper and gold. Let me get the gold color here. I think it's Doris, but I'm not sure. It's Doris metallic gold. And well, that's not it. Well, this is one that's similar. This is the bronze. I mean the copper. And then of course Mars black. And I mix that in big quantities. And that's it. That's all this one's going to do. I'm not swiping over it. Oh my gosh, I like this. I like this a lot better. I wish I hadn't done the other one. But again, these are just shelves for my desk that I work on. And it's Angela with Creatively Done. I want everyone to try acrylic pouring. It's easy to do and it's difficult all at the same time. But you do end up being very creative. It's not as easy as it looks, and it's not as hard as you think. So go out there and get something creatively done, and have a good day, and I'll see you the next time. Don't forget to subscribe, please, and make the little notification bell go ding, ding, ding. You can leave a comment, let me know that you subscribed, and share it with people. Been trying this for well over, oh gosh, it's almost 2 years. And I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I know I will if I keep at it. So I'm going to keep at it. And I want you guys to try it too, or something else, and share what you're doing in the comments. Thank you. Have a good day. See you next time.